Let's testify tonight.
Oh God, you've done so much for me. I'm grateful and overwhelmed here at your feet. And I could stay here forever, Lord, but you call me to something more. And I hear you say that you have a plan to use every broken woman and man to display just how good you are. We are your living pieces of art. What good does it do to hide away when all of my scars are a picture of grace? All right. So I will testify of the power of God. I will tell the word of the hope I have found. For my body was broken, my heart was made whole, and that's too good to keep to myself. So I will testify of the power of God. Oh, do you believe it? Has He done it for anyone else? I said, has He done it for anyone else? 'Cause the God that I serve, He's always at work. Has He done it for anyone else? So come on and testify of the power of God. Come on and tell the world of the hope we have found. For our body was broken, our hearts were made whole, and that's too good to keep to yourself. Come on and testify of the power of God. This is my story, this is my song, praising my Savior all the day long. I'm gonna testify. Somebody testify your voice. This is my. So I'm gonna testify. Somebody testify. Come on, take it up. Jesus, my champion, the victor of grace, the only one worthy of all of my praise. Yeah. So come on and testify. Oh, somebody lift Him high. Come on, testify of the power of God. I will tell the world of the hope I have found. Oh, for my body was broken, my heart was made whole, and that's too good to keep to myself. So I will testify of the power of God. Sing that. Oh, my body was broken, my heart was made whole, and that's too good to keep to myself. So I will testify of the power of God. Oh, let's do that right now.
Yeah, it helps if I unmute the audio. Thank you. So let's start that over again, shall we? Let me guess. That's probably someone texting me that there's no audio. Yep, that was the wife. So it should be working now. So yeah, what I was saying is that so I've had it's not an optical illusion as far as the reflection of the light on my forehead. It is really really hot in here. I have a air conditioner going full blast. It's been going for about 2 hours now, and the temperature has now reduced to 95 degrees. When I first got home from driving Uber, the temperature was literally off the scale of the thermostat, and the thermostat scale for the internal room temperature goes as high as 102. But yeah, and it's only going to get worse in the next few days. So I don't know if there will be a live stream tomorrow. I don't know if I'll just be even physically capable of it. And if I can, I will, but it'll probably be late, if not as late later than this one, because I'm going to have to give the room plenty of time to cool down because I am just soaked right now. It feels like I'm in a sauna. So let's see. What was I going to say? So yeah, I'm going to keep it brief tonight because I don't want to be up here any longer than I have to be, uh, especially given that my symptoms have been for MS have not been the greatest lately. So best to not be aggravating it if I can avoid it. To real quickly in the chat, Trustin was first. Good to see a multi gunman in the house. And yes, I was muted like an idiot. And then, yeah, you can hear me now. Godson says, "Oh, hey, Michael, give me a kiss." No. Multi Gunman says, 95, practically freezing. Not sure what scale you're using. Give me my number one spot. Oh, you're working on the chats thing. Oh, yeah, you guys are battling it out here. So currently, looks like Multi Gunman is number one, Godson is number two, and Trustin is number three. Um, and let's see. Robert in the house says, "Hello there. Today, self checker. Well, at least you have air conditioning. I got nothing but fans. That would really suck." Although, to be fair, I'm upstairs in this room, and I was actually talking to my lovely wife about this earlier. Is that I am probably because the main there's a central HVAC for the upstairs that's not working right now, and I have a portable one that is rated to be powerful enough to cool down this room, but it obviously takes it more than an hour or two to do so. And so, what I'll probably do, because I don't want the electric bill to just go through the roof, is at least for the summer, move my computer back down to the room I used to broadcast from. So depending on if I do a live stream tomorrow, if I don't do a live stream tomorrow, I may start working on getting that room arranged for it then. And then I'll spend my what spare time I have Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday trying. Well, hopefully by Sunday morning I can have it set up because once I start moving stuff, I can't do anything until I'm done. Um, anyway, so yeah. God's and Simon on number 2 now. Tristan says, pretty sure I can handle 90 plus degrees. I can't handle 90. Well, of course not. You're a Canuck. Let's see. Bluto versus Peg Leg Pete. I don't remember Peg Leg Pete. Mercer says, hi there. Have surgery soon. Yes. Looking forward to a full recovery from it. Let's see. It's hot like Mustafar today. Yes, it is. Let's see. Let go. I'm number 1. I've got to make the top. You're so funny. And all right, so you guys are just going to fight over who's number 1. All right, so let's get right into it. Again, this is another one of our technical chapters of Exodus. So yesterday, or not yesterday, but last time, we talked about the actual construction of the Ark of the Covenant, the table, the lampstand, the altar, and the altar of incense. So we're going to continue with that today. So let me switch screens and share screen, window, bottom, boop. All right. So the altar of burnt offering. They built the burnt offering of a case of wood. Notice pretty much everything as far as wooden furniture is made of case of wood. 3 cubits high, it was square, 5 cubits long, and 5 cubits wide. They made a horn at each of the 4 corners so that the horns and the altar were of one piece. And they overlaid the altar with bronze. They made it all the utensils of bronze. It's pots, shovels, sprinkling bowls, meat forks, and fire pans. They made a grating for the altar, a bronze network, to be used under its ledge halfway up the altar. They cast bronze rings to hold the poles, the 4 corners of bronze grating. They made the poles of acacia wood and overlaid them with bronze. They inserted the poles into the rings so that it would be on the sides of the altar for carrying it. They made it hollow out of boards. Now, I had someone ask me before, why is this one made out of bronze when the other one was made from gold? And the answer is actually very practical, because this is the altar of burnt offering. Burnt meaning fire. This is like a giant charcoal pit. And gold would not withstand that kind of heat. Gold, especially pure gold overlay, would melt under that kind of heat. The basin for washing. They made a bronze basin and its bronze stand from the mirrors of the women who served at the entrance to the tent of meeting. And next they made the courtyard. The south side was 100 cubits long and had curtains of finely twisted linen with 20 posts and 20 bronze bases, and with silver hooks and bands on the posts. The north side was also 100 cubits long and had 20 posts and 20 bronze bases with silver hooks and bands on the posts. The west end was 50 cubits wide and had curtains with 10 posts and 10 bases with silver hooks and bands on the posts. In the east end towards the sunrise was also 50 cubits wide. Curtains 50 cubits long were on the side of the entrance with 3 posts and 3 bases, and the curtains 15 cubits long were on the other side in the entrance to the courtyard with 3 posts and 3 bases. All of the curtains around the courtyard were of finely twisted linen. The bases for the posts were bronze, the hooks and bands of the posts were silver, and the tops were overlaid with silver, so all the posts of the courtyard had silver bands. The curtain for the entrance to the courtyard was made of blue, purple, and scarlet yarn and finely twisted linen. The work of an embroiderer, it was 20 cubits long, and like the curtains of the courtyard, 5 cubits high, with 4 posts and 4 bronze bases. Their hooks and bands were silver, and their tops were overlaid with silver. All the tent pegs of the tabernacle and of the surrounding courtyard were bronze. The materials used. These are the amounts of materials used for the tabernacle, the tabernacle of covenant law, which was recorded at Moses' command by the Levites under the direction of Ithamar, son of Aaron the priest. Bezalel, son of Uri, son of Hur, tribe of Judah, made everything the Lord commanded Moses. With him was, oh man, these names, Oelub, son of Ashimach, from the tribe of Dan, an engraver and designer and embroiderer in blue, purple, and scarlet and fine linen. The total amount of the gold from the wave offering used for all the work on the sanctuary was 29 talents and 730 shekels, according to the sanctuary shekel. The silver obtained from those of the community who were counted in the census was 100 talents and 1,775 shekels, according to the sanctuary shekel. 1 bekah per person, that is half a shekel, according to the sanctuary shekel, from everyone who had crossed over to the courtyard, 20 years old or more, for a total of 603,550 men. The 100 talents of silver were used to cast, and there's some people were saying how many people were there at the time. Well, 603,550 men. So then add on to that women and children. The 100 talents of silver were used to, and that's men over the age of 20. The 100 talents of silver were used to cast the bases of the sanctuary and for the curtain. 100 bases from the 100 talents, 1 talent for each base. They used 1,775 shekels to make the hooks for the posts, to overlay the tops of the posts, and to make their bands. The bronze from the wave offerings was 70 talents and 2,400 shekels. They used it to make the bases for the entrance to the tent of meeting, the bronze altar with its bronze grating and all its utensils, the bases for the surrounding courtyard and those for its entrance, and all the tent pegs for the tabernacle and those for the surrounding courtyard. So there we go. That is the construction of the tabernacle. Now pretty much wrapped up. Again, I know these are some very technical chapters, but they are important. And it's actually quite the engineering feat.
New donation from Mercer.
Oh, thank you, Mercer, with a coffee donation. Let me see if I can get there real quick so I can see. There it is. So sorry to interrupt. How do I cancel my Christian nerd deductions using PayPal? If you have a Christian nerd thing from PayPal, I think you have to do it through PayPal, like you would do it in your PayPal. Whatever you're using to pay it is where you would cancel it. And wrong one. There we go. So let's switch back to the main screen here. And I'll be real quickly going through some of the chat, but then I'm going to wrap up because, like I said, it is really, really hot. I'll be watching lots of Trek and Looney Tunes. Oh, yeah, I'll bet. It's cooling down where I live. Well, tomorrow's actually, for here, tomorrow's going to be hotter. But tomorrow's going to be the hottest day of the week. But we're actually under a full-on heat advisory until Friday night. RoboCop versus T-800, Terminator versus Data. I think someone's already asked that one, Multigunman. But it's actually kind of an interesting fight because it depends on if they are armed or not. Because RoboCop, one thing that's unique about RoboCop is that he has a weapon built into him. So unlike Data and the T-800, you could argue that RoboCop's sidearm, at least, is in fact a part of him. And in fact, it is linked to him directly, and the weapon reloads while it's in his leg compartment. So it really is an integrated part of his cybernetic systems. But if RoboCop has his weapon, he wins. We already know that Data is definitely not bulletproof, despite what happened in Star Trek First Contact. We know that projectiles can, in fact, damage him. And even a very low-speed arrow shot by a weakling like Troy was able to do minor damage. I would just say that it was just very lucky that perhaps either the caliber or the power of the weapon that Lily was using when she fired at Data was not particularly effective, or maybe Data just got a whole lot of plot armor. But RoboCop is also the most accurate sharpshooter of the three. RoboCop basically never misses a shot because, and we actually we do see in the first RoboCop movie how he calibrates his targeting system. So once his targeting system is calibrated, though, he'll never miss. We have seen Data miss, and we have seen the Terminator miss. Bluto versus Bane. Well, Bluto doesn't eat spinach. Bane does have venom, so that would have to go to Bane. I would say base level Bane versus Bluto would probably be an even fight. But if Bane gets the venom in him, then it's all over. Captain America versus Samurai Jack. That's a tough one. Why do you guys always do these versus things? Captain America versus Samurai Jack will be a very tough one because while Captain America's shield is very good defense, I wonder if Samurai Jack's magic sword could cut through it. I don't know the answer to that. We do know that his shield is not indestructible. For example, Thanos' double-sided sword was able to cut through it. So I would imagine that Samurai Jack would probably be able to cut through the shield. And if so, even though Captain America is technically stronger, I would give it to Samurai Jack, because Samurai Jack faces down with opponents that are way stronger than him all the time. Because Samurai Jack is just insane levels of agile. Blade versus Spawn, that's no contest, Spawn. Godson says, the Orthodox Church I go to doing a baptism thing tomorrow. I'm going to check and see what it is. Hopefully they're going to teach about what baptism is to them and why you should be baptized and have some kind of biblical principles for it. My biggest concern, Godson, and I know, most people who are members of the Orthodox Church ignore me on this, but my biggest concern about the Orthodox Church is that they do not believe that the Scripture is the final authority on things. Robert says, yes, Spawn would win over Blade a few years ago. Death Battle did Spawn versus Ghost Rider, and Spawn won. Spawn versus Ghost Rider would be... Well, because technically speaking, Ghost Rider can insta-kill anything that knows fear. So the question is, does Spawn know fear? And I would say yes, he does, because Spawn fears the loss of his wife, even though he's technically already lost her, and that's kind of the tragedy of his whole character. So... I don't know. I think that if Ghost Rider gets a chance to, burn his soul, I think that Spawn might be in trouble. In the Orthodox Church, they chant the Bible verses, and that's beautiful, but beauty does not make up for bad doctrine. And yeah, that's where you're asking about the Christian nerd thing. Pee Wee Herman versus Screech, Saved by the Bell. The other day we did Screech versus someone else, I think, but I think it was Screech versus Urkel. Pee Wee Herman, though, does have a multitude of superhuman abilities, so I would have to give it to Pee Wee Herman. Fat Albert versus Wario. I don't know enough about Wario to answer that one. Let's see. Now they take money from us to build football stadiums. Oh, they're spending like a ton of money to build a football stadium in Nashville. And let's see. If you need to fix your house tomorrow, do that, but don't hurt yourself. Well, I'm not going to, obviously, what I would do is like crank up the AC and then work on some stuff downstairs until upstairs was cool enough to actually move around a little bit of stuff upstairs. And Godson must have hit that number one spot because he's saying hail to the kings. And, he only says that when he is number one. Although Godson is currently number two, Multi-Gunman is number one. Let's see. And Tom says, no, you should donate more money. That's true. I saw a special feature in the Minecraft movie. Momoa picks up a trident in Steve's stash and says, it's just a giant fork. Who would take this into battle? All is good except for the tornado watch, but it's probably not going to happen. Yeah, tornado watches I don't worry about too much. It's when the warnings come up. Just leads me back to your site. Yeah, you need to do it from whatever you're using to pay. Now, granted, if you're doing a donation to the Christian Nerd, it does end up going to my PayPal. But if you just don't want that to go there, then yeah, you have to cancel it from whatever your payout source is, which I have no control over. Because you got to keep in mind, it's not... your whatever you set it up through sets up the subscription so that your payment system pays to my PayPal every month. My PayPal doesn't like reach out to your bank and grab it, I don't think. But if you can't find a way to do it, I'll check it out. But I don't know. You're the first person to ask. Let's see. I tried coming up with a Christian to ask. Good thing I'm to an Orthodox church. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Send all the tornadoes to Gorilla. Wow, that's mean. Let's see. No giant robots involved in Voltron Force. Let's see. No giant robots involved Voltron Force versus the original Power Rangers. I didn't watch either of those. I'm older than you. I could use some plot armor, lots of medical plot armor. Oh, you and me both, Tristan. God says we love you and we like it when we talk about verses with you. Well, I appreciate that, Godson, but you're just trying to stretch this out and make me suffer. See, that's my problem with it. They do chant the Bible. That's, like I said, I think that's cool, but chanting the Bible which is very cool, very beautiful, and in some parts of the Bible, the way it's meant to be heard. But the problem is, like I said, that if a church puts church tradition at the same level of authority as the actual word of God, that is a massive problem. And no matter how nice the church service is, I can't get past that. If they all three armed with their standard weapons used in their timeline, Theta would win. Phasers are very OP compared to laser weapons and a projectile weapon. That would be assuming, because you would technically be correct if you are also not having them behave within their own characters. Because RoboCop will take down anything that he perceives as a violation of law or a direct threat. Terminator will take down anything that he is programmed to take down. Data, with his lovely ethical subroutine and all that garbage, will only use deadly force when there is no other alternative. Eric saying hi. How you doing, buddy? Fat Albert versus Bluto. Oh, Fat Albert, no contest. Robert says, wow, never, and not sure what. Oh, you're talking about what, not having seen the shows? Yeah, Voltron and Power Rangers were just a little bit after my time. Did you see when the coyote finally caught the Roadrunner? Also, what was your favorite method he tried to use to catch him? Well, I mean, honestly, Roadrunner Coyote was not my favorite of the Looney Tunes, but anytime he employed any kind of Acme gadget was always fun. But yes, I did see the one where he managed to, I don't remember if he shrunk himself down or the Roadrunner got giant, whatever it is. And then he finally gets hold of the Roadrunner, but now the Roadrunner is like 50 times taller than him. And so he holds up a sign saying, great, what am I supposed to do now? And that was really stupid because I remember they billed it forever before that I remember when that cartoon first aired, and they kept saying, coming up in 6 months, Wile E. Coyote will finally catch the Roadrunner. Coming up in a month, Wile E. Coyote will finally catch the Roadrunner. Next week, Wile E. Coyote will finally catch the Roadrunner. And then we got that. Never seen 80s Lions Force. You have seen the 80s Lions Force Voltron. I've not seen any iteration of Voltron. I'm going to talk about things on this channel. I'm going to talking about things on this channel. I'm not sure what you mean. Tom saying hi to Arabic. On RoboCop 3, they got a jetpack and weapons upgrade also. Yeah, but I was just using base level RoboCop. Batman versus V from Vendetta. Really? Come on. Well, actually, it's not as clear cut as you might think, because on the one hand, Batman is the better fighter, I'd say. However, V, I don't know, is that what his name was? Whatever his name was. Hugo Weaving's character. Had no problem killing, and Batman doesn't kill. So Batman doesn't generally employ deadly force. So that could be a big problem for Batman in that fight. Master Splinter versus Batman. I would have to give that one to Batman. Master Splinter is a ninja master, but Bruce Wayne is an all-round martial arts master, and Bruce Wayne is probably in better shape than an overgrown rat. Snoopy versus Scooby-Doo. Oh, that's an easy one. You might think that was a hard one because Scooby-Doo is clearly the larger dog, but Snoopy has an invisible biplane that he can literally shoot Scooby-Doo with. Why don't they use wide field phasers on AR-558 against the Jem'Hadar? Writing. In this team-up, Jesus and Satan join forces to defeat this enemy. Who is this enemy? No one? I'm trying to talk about a Christian thing on this channel. Well, yeah, you talked about how they chanted the liturgy and stuff, which again I appreciate. But the problem with the Catholic and Orthodox churches is that they do not see the scripture as the final authority. They see the church as the final authority. In the Catholic Church's case, they see the Pope specifically as the final authority. Martha Wayne versus Martha Kent. Well, I would have to give that one to Martha Kent. She was a farm girl, worked with her hands, probably fairly strong. Martha Wayne was a society woman whose claim to fame was having a pearl necklace. Luthen Luthen, what's his name from Andor versus Luther Sloan from Section 31. Well, Luther from Section 31. He's an augment. Luthen is just an old guy. I'm going to meet William Sadler, who played Sloan on Sunday. He also was in Die Hard 2. That's pretty cool. Tell him we missed the real Section 31. Multi-Gun Men agreed. Snoopy for the win. And Shawshank. Jay versus Silent Bob. You know, I've actually never seen Jay and Silent Bob. And Mike Richards is here. And you guys know what that